I feel like he's gonna like maybe third, fourth episode. I think he's gonna get it together. Like he's not gonna act like that anymore. I think it's like pretty like just to draw you in because
Right.
you want to see someone butt heads.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't, then I think he can be on his way out. Because I think especially with Taker there, I think they view that more as, bro, that's just too much. Like, you know what I mean? Like he didn't like Sean because of that. He's like Sean was great, but I just couldn't.
Tyler Breeze, Prince Pretty, and this is Wrestling's Behind the Curtain.
Yeet. You already know what it is. It's your boy Chance. Rest behind the curtain. Kenzo's in the house. We here. We doing a little something different this time. You know what I'm saying? I think we might have did this one on the documentary a while back, but if y'all like
Yeah.
this, put in this hit the like I was saying and put in the comments that y'all like this. But we watched WWE first episode of LFG. I'll wait till later to say the curse word. You gotta wait about 3 minutes for YouTube demonetizes that. But
Well, technically, I mean, that's what we know the words mean, but the show technically is Legends and Future Greats. That's what the LFG technically is. But I know what you mean. Yeah.
um quick things like comment if you're new here. I'm saying second Discord in the description box. It's free. We got merch as you can see. Kenny's wearing one of them, and your boy's officially on Cameo. So if y'all want a birthday shout out, so you want a little something, something, you know, go ahead and
Awesome for a verse.
like, oh yeah, old school. Go ahead and look me up, and let's do that. But let's get you in and out. Pause. So LFG, let you run point, and then piggyback off it.
All right. So I remember when I was doing notes, at first I wrote a couple things, then I wrote the good, the bad, the interesting, and then I asked questions. But let me start with like a basic, not a synopsis, but from a background standpoint. So we did do a couple of these. We've done the A&E done. We've done it. We did it. We had actually, I want to say, one of my personal opinion, when we started doing the Dark Side of the Ring, is probably when we started actually like clicking pretty good, in my opinion. So that was actually pretty good too. And the thing we said about those is I like Dark Side. I like all these A&E stuff because they ask WWE stuff, but they're usually not the producers. If you look in the production for this one, it is Triple H and I think Shawn Michaels as well. And I might be forgetting somebody off the top of my head, but it's WWE basically. So when I saw that, I was a little skeptical because first of all, it's reality TV. You should be skeptical. It's reality TV, right? But these think about wrestling, right? And obviously coming back for our background, we know like wrestling is not like, oh yeah, it's so much in the future now, so they change. No, no, no. These dudes are so old school. They still use so much of the circus carnival stuff that started wrestling, like for no other reason than basically the fact that that's how it's been for forever. So whenever they do reality TV, if you ever watch Total Divas, like I've done with my girl, you know that even for reality TV, they hype it up. It's like WWE times reality TV, basically. Which is, again, what else would you figure? So I went into this pretty skeptical. I gotta say, right? But it definitely was like, okay, wait, time out. This actually has some stuff going for it. So I want to say I did go into a little skeptical. That's number one. Number two, when it starts, part of, again, I was already skeptical. You can see some of the stuff already. You can see Tatiana Dumas. If you look up everybody, I did go up and look at everybody on the roster. You can see they're going to show her a lot later. They haven't yet so far, but the way they keep, like, if you look at the trailer and you look at the promos and stuff, she claims up a lot. Even though when the time they had for her on the TV thing, they didn't even show her whole. Well, they did show her whole promo. It was like a couple seconds, but that was literally the only thing they showed from her. So I'm already suspicious they're going to probably feature her a lot. And I know when they do these shows a lot, if they get one star out of this show, to them it's worth it. They don't care how much they pay for this. If we find one person we like at this, the show succeeded. No matter what else they tell you was the point of the show, to show you the behind the scenes, they don't really care for us to see behind the scenes. They could have done that a whole bunch of other ways. They have to go put this on A&E. I
Yeah.
think we're gonna have to find one or two, maybe probably a male and a female one each, and we're gonna see who the stars out of those are. I don't know who yet so far because I mean we only had one episode, but I definitely think that's the true purpose of this show. Not to say it's a good or bad thing, just pointing in my opinion. To get to the bad real quick. It was still WWE. You could still like I knew immediately what's the buddy name? DJ or whatever Ray. I knew he was gonna bump heads with somebody. Like
BJ.
as soon as they showed him, and I think I've seen him on TV. He's on WWE. He was on Next Up.
Yeah.
Him and Tyron May Steele, off the top of my head. Maybe somebody else was too. Probably what's the buddy name? The buddy who got chosen at the end of the show, since he's with Maxine Dupree that they pointed out 4 or 5 times. We don't need to. We heard you the first time, but I think I see him on WWE Next Up as well. So some of these it's a little different. And my last complaint slash comment that I found, well, this is interesting, but it's kind of a complaint still, is the difference in training. I found that weird. I understand it's cool to have like different levels, but 2 or 3 of those people was there a week. Holyfield's son was there. He been there a week. What? Like, what he gonna show us? I mean, obviously, like, yes, we know he's a specimen, but like, I feel like, I mean, especially the way Bubba Ray and Booker T coming at people, I don't think it's fair for anybody to be coming here after a week of training. But that's just my opinion. We can keep going, but you go ahead.
Do you feel like it was tough enough vibes or different?
It was definitely different. Well, let me it depends, because Tough Enough had different iterations. Because the first Tough Enough was great game showy. It's definitely not like that. The second Tough Enough iteration kind of led into NXT, but it was still a little like do boyish and blah 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 blah. It was, but in this one again, it's only the first episode, so we can't know as much. But I don't think it's that bad. But I do feel that there's a possibility for that. That was in the back of my mind. But again, this is A&E compared to WWE straight up production, so it has a little bit of that faith that I'm giving it compared to the skepticism I have. But I didn't feel like that a lot. I did think of it a little bit, but no, I don't think it's tough enough exactly.
Yeah, I think old boy's name is Anthony. That's what Maxine.
Yeah.
I think it would have been better if you didn't tell me.
Probably.
Because now, even though he has a look, and I guess we'll get to that. Even though he has a look and he's pretty decent, I'm gonna feel like, oh, so he's getting extra love because he's a WWE superstar's boyfriend. Okay. You know what I mean? Instead of being saying, oh, this guy's pretty good. Oh, and then at the end be like, I didn't know he was with Maxine. You know what I mean?
Right.
That was that. Let me see. Trying to see how to transition into what we saw. Because overall, I thought it was good. It was a good first episode. Um, Bubba Ray's being Bubba Ray.
Oh, easy.
Where backstage is he's always been like dickheadish and like pushing buttons. So
Yeah.
you got to see that. I didn't really have a problem with him not shaking the hand, but we'll get to that. Um, Taker seems like I feel like it gives you an insight of what Taker was. You know how they said he was when he was backstage.
Right.
I feel like you get an insight of that because he seems like mad calm, like really loving the business, but he looks like he's focused and he takes it serious. Um, I don't really think we got to see Mickey James like really shine yet. I think she's just gonna lay low real quick
Mm-hmm.
and Booker. So I mean, as far as what you said about like early ups, like the weeklies, like Elijah Holyfield, I think it's good because you don't know. Like let's say we do see Elijah, right? And he does go off. Then it's like, damn, so he's only been there a week and like his talent is crazy. Like he definitely has a look.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I mean, obviously, because we know, and they mentioned in the show, I believe, the performance didn't have a lot of people. I really want to, and I want to say they show us more than I thought they would. Again,
Yeah.
we're gonna see how much that really means. But I want to know if they ever tell us why they chose those 16 in particular, because it's like 2 or 3, maybe 4 of them with 1 week. Then you got like 2 or 3 with 18 months, and again, they said it's like amongst the best. But how did a week come to be amongst the best? Because I mean, there's somebody kicking it back there for 2 years. You about to be a referee, buddy. Because
Yeah. I mean, Elijah does look the part. Now he just got
oh,
to,
for sure.
and he puts it together. It's gonna be crazy. Um, I don't know. I guess it's the die right. Let's just go to the matches. So
Oh,
the match.
before that, since you said that's what we're gonna do, let me real quick before we get to that. I want to say, I felt like for 2 seconds, I was like, did Vince book this? Because to mention take, like, I don't mind the staff. I did find it interesting they chose so Bubba Ray and Booker T off backs. I was not surprised by that. They both kind of still work for there. They're both trainers, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Even though Booker T doesn't train for WWE, he has his own school, but he still got a training background and he still works NXT's commentator. Bubba Ray still works and training back there, blah blah blah. So I was also interested. I didn't know Prince Albert or Lord Tensai. I didn't know he was the head trainer. That's never something I know he was a trainer in the performance center. I didn't know he was
Bill
the head.
DeMont?
Huh?
I think it's Bill DeMont.
Uh, Matt Bloom.
Oh shit, way off. Okay.
Yeah, Matt Bloom. That's his real name. Oh, but yeah, I wasn't sure.
Who the
If
fuck
he
is
was,
Bill
I mean,
DeMont?
that's not Doink. Who's that? You caught me on the spot. I don't remember.
Yeah,
I'll look that up because now it's gonna bother me. But So I was not surprised by them too, especially the way W, how he came out. Like, again, not surprised at all. I was kind of surprised by Taker, but again, that's probably part of me still because I keep thinking, Taker was Mr. Kayfabe. Like he kept Kayfabe alive by himself. But since he retired, man's on TV all the time, and I gotta remember that that's part of who he is now. And it didn't bother me because again, you can see he still takes this business very serious, and he the old school. And like you said, Mickey didn't get to show her personality too much, but I think we're gonna see. I mean, obviously part of it is probably gonna they chose her. She's a woman, and they had women wrestlers in there, but it's not gonna be just that because obviously the women don't have to choose to work with a woman. So I do think that's gonna be an interesting dynamic. But I said that about Vince because for two reasons for Taker. First of all, his interest is different than everybody else. When it was introduced to the students, they're like, "Oh, this, WWE superstar, blah blah blah, 6-time champion for Mickey James, blah 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 blah." And then Taker comes in, you see his whole, you see him on the motorcycle, you see him talking, the voice dropping him. Okay, we should take an extra level. Obviously, he deserved it, but it was kind of funny to me. And then, he also has the last decision. You can see when they're doing both the promos and the matches that you're gonna get to, you can see they have him do this, them and take his last. So he hasn't been the decision yet, but you can tell if it comes down to it, he'd be the decision the way it looks because it's 4 judges and it hasn't been a 2-2 yet. But I imagine is his voice a little bit extra, or is Shawn Michaels gonna be tiebreaker a little? We don't know yet, but I figured that'd probably come up. So
Yeah.
you go ahead. Let's get to the matches.
Before the match, real quick. So the handshake thing and
Oh
BJ
yeah, okay.
and BJ. I feel like it's probably editing. I feel like he's gonna like maybe third, fourth episode. I think he's gonna get it together. Like he's not gonna act like that anymore. I think it's like pretty like just to draw you in because
Right.
you want to see someone butt heads.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't, then I think he can be on his way out. Because I think especially with Taker there, I think they view that more as, bro, that's just too much. Like what I mean? Like he didn't like Sean because he's like Sean was great, but I couldn't fuck with him.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
I think if you don't fix that, he's gonna get eliminated. But yeah, since we're past that time, LFG means let's fucking go. So it is what it is. Um, Matches. So Danny versus TMS, Tyra.
Mhm.
Uh, bro, you know what's? I feel like the judges it's really hard to talk about it because they both are really good. Like because I feel like I do want to talk about Danny more because to be a cheerleader, obviously they have their shit together. But she looked like I'm not gonna say Tiffy, but she looked pretty good in there. Like she looked like she'd been in there a minute. But I'm not gonna like say less of TMS because obviously it takes two. So you could be great, but if your partner sucks, it's just gonna be bad. But they looked like they were both controlling the match and they both were doing their thing. They both got their shit in. I could have legitimately saw that in NXT and be like, oh, okay, cool. I see we got some future stars. So I thought they were both good. Um, I don't know if I would have. I don't know if I would have gave it to TMS though, only because, like I said, Danny looks so good to know nothing really. That was that one. You want to do both or just talk about that one first?
Oh, let's do that one first since we are here. So I just find the matches interesting for a couple of different reasons. Like, well, we start in the women's since we're doing women's first, but just in general, like the fact that they had commentary, I found interesting. I guess like the WWE is so they're like you as a casual, as a person who I don't care how long you are wrestling, you can't watch wrestling without commentators. So we're gonna give you commentators. I
Hmm.
found that funny because I mean I'm not sure how I would reacted if there wasn't because we did have the judges commentary, which I think was actually pretty good because I did find it very interesting how they would react to certain things happening in there because you figure because again we know a lot about wrestling.
Yeah.
This again yes it's scripted blah 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 they're all scripted but in this case like I'm sure they just told from from what I know wrestling I know wrestling training I got people who did some but I have not done none form of wrestling training right but from what I know in this case they went up to them they said you're the heel you're the thing this is the finish that's all everything else is you like
Hmm.
obviously you got to work in there, you got to learn how to talk in there because that's the thing they do, and it's the thing you again. I've learned to figure out. I've seen Shawn Michaels talk some scrubs through a match, and you can barely see his mouth, but if you really know what to look for, you can see it. He's telling that motherfucker everything to do. But
Hmm.
that's neither here nor there, right? So I was wondering, like, how are they going to choose? Like, obviously, with the dudes, it's a little easier because, well, not really because they ended up not going that way. But one of the things that when Mickey's like, oh, who's supposed to be the heel here? Like stuff like that. Obviously, it was cool to know that they were looking for. But in there, I was wondering as it was going on, I'm like, well, how are they really gonna? pick here because obviously, I mean, it's like with the girls, both of them look good. You feel me? So it's like they look good. You can say they like TMS's instinct and some of the charisma that she was showing in there, which I did like too. But like you said, Danny was it's not like Danny wasn't going, and Danny's entrance I think was a little better, probably the best
Yeah.
out of all four in my opinion. So just stuff like that, right? So I was there was no bad decision there for me as far as the girls go. Like that was like basically splitting hairs. I probably would have went Danny, but I'm not surprised they went TMS. I did like TMS.
Yeah.
I think again we don't know going forward, but I do remember seeing her on NXT already. So I do think again. So that's another thing I wonder when did they film this to show it now? Because some of these people might be close to NXT if not already on NXT. So that's kind of giving some stuff away in my opinion. But another thing I found interesting was like they mentioned the Kurt Angle. They didn't mention Gable Stevenson. Like they're like, oh, she got the gold medal and there's got some background here in WWE. Which yes, it's Kurt Angle. That's the standard. But Gable Stevens has been around for a minute now, and he also got a gold medal. The fact that they didn't mention him kind of tell me a little bit because we were always not always, but we've been a little concerned with that project, and I found it interesting that I found out through this show. Because if I didn't watch it, I might have.
I thought he got released.
You know what I'm saying? But like the fact that they didn't mention him at all,
yeah.
like it's like
They probably want to make sure that like that didn't exist.
Yeah, it's scrubbed him. That's what I'm saying. It's being scrubbed already.
Yeah. Then we got to it was first Anthony and versus Shiloh.
Mm-hmm.
I do agree. I think Anthony does have like this look, this mannerism. I think body he's probably Booker's. I mean, Booker Bubba's comparing to the Rock body wise, like first pre-Rock. But I don't know. I don't think it was all the Rock, but
I think it's some of that confidence too he meant. But
yeah,
I mean, yeah. I Was he a football player too? Because quite a bit of them. Because I know Holyfield's a football
he was
player. Yeah, so Shiloh's a football player. Quite a few of them. I think not all the dudes, but most of the dudes that have been pushed to the forefront have been football players so far. And I did find that interesting that he does have the look, but he said, I mean, you're not gonna really come into the performance center without being a wrestling fan for the most part. But a lot of these dudes, you could tell it's that ruthless aggression era that they came up in because they my age and a little bit younger. You could tell that that's the wrestling. And it's like, I'm not sure that's really a wrestling you can go off because we've talked about this before. That era, not to say it's better or worse than anything else, there's no era like it because they were in between their peak and trying to go PC. So it's like the best wrestling for wrestling fans, and then trying to be the best for a casual fan is literally what ruthless aggression was supposed to be. So it's like I don't know how it's gonna work out trying to make that shit natural, but we gonna see. Again, like how many episodes supposed to be? I didn't look that up.
Nah, I don't know, man.
Because the pacing tells me it's probably leaning more towards 12 or more instead of like a 10. Because based on what we've seen so far.
I think Anthony was the standout. I think Shiloh was I think I could be pronouncing his name wrong, but you know what I meant. I think he's still trying to find out who he is, especially you tell with the promo. Like I think he's trying to be humble, but but you can tell like there's like some shit in him, like he like a click. Like if you fuck around, you're gonna find out. And then I think in like some of the upcoming episodes of promos, like I think he gets into it with somebody, but like you see like his whole face, like he's like, oh, I'm gonna fuck you up. So I think he's just like in between, like I'm trying to be humble, I'm trying to respect where I'm at, but I think there's definitely like a click in there. Like if he finds out like how to use that and do it in a good way, I think he's gonna be a problem. Anthony, I mean, like I said, I can see stuff there, but well, Booker T has him now, so hopefully he'll tune that in. But I feel like it's just generic right now. It's just like
I'm about to say I don't see it, which is a funny thing. That's one of the things they're mentioning it. Like that's what you can't. That's one you can't teach it. I don't see it yet. I'm not saying he don't got it. I mean, again, one episode, but yeah, if it comes down to like, as far as Shiloh goes, yeah, it reminds me of like a couple people I know who play like football players play linebacker. A lot of those dudes like off the field, normal people. On the field, they Ray Lewis, crazy as hell, and I did like, and it did remind me of that in a bit because he's like, and I think he said he was going for them. I don't think that was true. I think he thought that that was probably more babyface, and the other version would probably be if he was going heel. If I had to guess, but when he said he's brought the intensity, because like they said, I mean, we already did the magic. The promo section, right? I was worried about it to begin because I mean I love promos. Promos are always my thing. I was like for a long time, Ric Flair's promos were like my most viewed YouTube video for like. But I used to watch that shit before I would go play football games. Like
Yeah.
so, like literally. So I've always promos always been a thing to me, and I know it's one of the harder things. I know it's one of the things a lot of people actually already got, and those people who in the NXT and maybe not so much in WWE main roster, but those they kind of get a little bit of a lesser leash because they can actually talk. And then you got like the people who don't hand this person a mic, please, right? And
Yeah.
again, obviously we can work around that, but if we're gonna be like here, I figured out we were gonna come across people who just wasn't gonna be good on the mic, which it wasn't great, but it wasn't as bad as it could have been. But the criticism made up for it. Bro, it could have been some of the best promos ever. The way Booker T was like, can you believe that?
Yeah, that's crazy.
It was, and he did that on the first one. On the second one, when he said it, like I feel like Taker was actually gonna give I forgot which one it was, but Taker was like, I feel like he was gonna come in and give him a little help, and then he was like, no, he didn't believe it, and then take it back down. I was like, damn. And the thing is, it was, and then you got Bubba Ray over there. He's like, what was that? Like
Yeah.
he's like that. So Mickey probably a little bit nicer over the promos overall, but the way Booker T and Bubba Ray specifically, and Taker don't take disrespect when BJ did the disrespect. That okay, are you fucking serious? Like who do you think you are? And it's funny. I'm like that the SoCal rubbing against all these Texas / old school wrestlers is not surprising to me at all. So
I mean,
but yeah.
I mean, not to linger too long, but he was right because he's like, he's like, I ain't even trying to play you. Like, I'm being serious. Like, this is really how you want to do your opportunity. You want to be a jackass.
Right,
Like,
no, for sure.
like you could legitimately change your life, but you're choosing to be a jackass. So I thought that was dope of Taker. Like, Taker looks like that dude. Like, he's strict when he needs to be, but he likes to just like kind of be lay low. So
Yeah.
overall, for sure, I thought it was dope. I'm definitely gonna keep watching it. As far as if y'all want us to keep on going and let you know about the episodes, or just come back for the finale, then y'all put in the comments, let us know what y'all want us to do. But um, it could be a one and done depending. But I just wanted to get that out there because we did watch it and it was pretty dope. And I am kind of curious to see where I always
And
wanted.
it's free to watch.
I never wanted Tough Enough to end. Like I thought it's cool to see the grind, like especially if you're doing like a reality TV. I think it is cool, and it keeps the fans engaged because if AEW did some shit like that, we'd be more invested in characters. Like, oh
I
shit, I
was
remember.
thinking, I mean, obviously you moved from Orlando now, but I was like, damn, if we would have seen it, I'm like, damn, we were like, we was going to send somebody into the performance center undercover or something. We was going to need our own backstage because I know some of this stuff is capped. So, but it's like, I mean, I don't mind that because again, it's the wrestling business. Where I'm not shocked, but it's like you could tell like they chose people for a reason. So I really look forward to it. But like we said, it's only the first episode. We don't know how many episodes it's going to be because neither one of us looked it up before we
Yeah,
did this. But I doubt it's going to be a 20 episoder is what I meant when I said
nah,
it's gonna be more towards 12. So I do think I'm gonna keep watching it. It's I thought it was gonna be wait on the next day Hulu type of joint because it's gonna be on Hulu, but actually
that's what I thought.
A&E actually have it on their website free same day. So or I think it was same day when I watched it. So just to put that out there,
Wait,
y'all can
yeah,
watch it.
same day. I had the next day.
I think it was same day. I, I watched it the day you told me, which was the next day, but I'm pretty sure it was on there the same day because it wasn't on Hulu yet.
I think there's 7 episodes.
Total.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that is gonna be interesting. The pace gonna have to pick up crazy then.
Yeah, I mean they're
Because
hour
what,
long, right?
16? Yeah, it's an hour long, but it's 16 people and only 2 people have chosen wrestlers.
I mean you can get a lot done in an hour.
Somebody getting kicked off.
Yeah, that best. But yeah, that's it because my man Kenzo got things to do today. But y'all let us know. Put it in the comments. Y'all fuck with the show. Y'all not like the show. Who's your standout? Who's not standout? Who you want to see go? Who don't want to see go? Do you want us to keep on critiquing by episode or nah? So Ken, what you guys say?
Check out that BSF podcast always, but we're gonna keep rocking with the wrestling. Been picking up. My dog been doing the AEW reviews basically on a weekly basis right now. Y'all go check those out.
And
We'll
we've
keep
been
you
doing
updated.
lives. We've been doing. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get Kenny to jump on another live, like what I'm saying, on YouTube. But my man busy. He getting paper. Well, I told you, y'all got to hit the cameo, get the YouTube membership, get the merch. You know what I'm saying? Help me. You know what I'm saying? So my dog don't have to work as much. You know what I mean? So you already
Mm.
know. Be yourself. Yeah.